session to order since Larry's not going to be here. I don't reckon we're expecting anybody else, are we? Looks like we're all here. Okay, we got some delegations that have asked to speak. So if you'll read the disclaimer, and he'll just read it once. So there's 2 or 3 of you on here. So if you'll just listen up, please. Thank you for your interest in addressing the Hamilton County Board of Education. During your presentation, please address the board as a whole, not individual board members or administrators. Also, please do not present complaints or concerns you have about an individual employee of the school system. If you wish to voice those complaints and concerns, you should contact the central office and ask for a meeting with the superintendent, since the superintendent is responsible for individual employees. Please limit your remarks to 5 minutes. I will tell you when you have 1 minute left, and we will begin. Tanya Dodd.
Good evening. In March of this year, I requested for you to not approve the seed coach positions. Against my request, the concern of parents and taxpayers across the district, those positions were approved and renamed student support coaches. Since the first day of this school year, even up until yesterday, Moms for Liberty has had concerned parents asking us why schools are requesting for their children to meet with their school's seed coach. If you go to the school websites, there are pages specifically designed for each school's seed program. I have some questions about the seed program. Are the seed coaches given autonomy to do as they wish for the program at each school? I hear that word used often around here about administrators needing to have autonomy when using the Code of Acceptable Behavior, other policies like the cell phone policy, and even a grading scale that doesn't hold students accountable for their achievement in their core subjects. Webster's Dictionary defines autonomy as self-directing freedom and especially moral independence. I have a problem with this word being used so frequently in this school system. Everyone needs to get on the same page with parents and taxpayers' concerns in mind and make certain that parents understand clearly how you are operating within the walls of these schools. There needs to be consistency and transparency, and that's not what we are seeing. I have communicated with many parents about schools calling and emailing them saying that their child is going to be part of a counseling group for their seed program. Some parents have gotten responses when questioning the school that the seed program is required curriculum, so they cannot opt out of this curriculum. Other parents have found out their child is seeing a seed coach months after the child has seen the seed coach. What is the required seed curriculum? What professional development are seed coaches attending that is guiding this seed program? Will you make this curriculum public to parents and taxpayers, as by law you are supposed to make all curriculum for students in Hamilton County Schools public for anyone to view? Is the seed curriculum actually required? When did this Board of Education vote on a social emotional learning curriculum to be required for students? Are seed coaches supposed to inform parents of any correspondence they have with students? I certainly hope this is the protocol. Let's revisit a portion of what I said to you last spring about the SEED program. Not one part of the contents of the Handbook of Social Emotional Learning refers to academics. SEL has not been and will continue to not be helpful in raising achievement scores in the content areas parents expect their students to be learning. There is no evidence to support this ideology. The only evidence the school system has are the well-being surveys asking students questions in which to guide this program. The data from these surveys is not only being used for SEL program, but also being sold to the company Hamilton County School uses to collect the data. Would you What you would be hiring is another boss to ensure and demand teachers are adhering to cultural Marxist practices and hiring people who are not licensed clinicians to be socially developing children's character. I think it's safe to say most people in our district would agree that social character development should be done in the confines of the home or from a licensed physician. Parents do not send their child to school for character development from unlicensed clinicians, which is illegal, I would add, especially in regards to morals, religious values, and political values. Now, here we are. Seed coaches.
1 minute.
Seed coach positions have been approved. Hamilton County Schools has apparently adopted a required social emotional learning curriculum, and you have some questions to answer. I'll add, parents have also complained daily about the harassment they have received from you, pleading with them to opt their children into surveys. It is interesting, last year when anyone asked about surveys, we got crickets in response. Parents also found out, even when they opted their child out of surveys, their child was given surveys anyways. Now that parents have to opt in, you are calling, texting, emailing, sending out pretty glossy mailers, begging them to opt in. The change in communication about surveys is very telling of the agenda you have here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Tara Baldwin?
Good afternoon. As you know, my name is Tara Baldwin. I've been here a couple of times before. Behind me, you see a young lady that is my daughter. I am here today to discuss the fact that my daughter, on 2 separate occasions, 9 months apart, was physically assaulted by 2 different teachers, and I have received nothing but lip service and empty promises since then. I cannot even begin to explain to you the anger that is seething inside of me as I am forced to beg this district to convince me not to sue them, when all I am trying to do is change the policies and procedures to ensure that this doesn't happen to any other child. I am 2 months past the date of incident, and I have received nothing from Dr. Robertson, who made me promises that were made in a meeting when I had to threaten to come here to get him to meet with me. I find it ironic that your disclaimer says to contact the superintendent and arrange a meeting, when every time I've made an effort to contact the superintendent, I've been told that they are not in office, they are not available, we'll get back to you. I can't even begin to tell you how disheartening it is, as a survivor myself, who swore that my children would never know what it's like to live in fear, to now have to deal with the trust issues and the psychological trauma that goes along with what has happened to my daughter at the hands of staff in this district. And yet nothing, I have heard nothing. I have received no internal incident reports. I have received no information. In order to see the video of my daughter being attacked, I had to go to the police department. That's also where I had to go to find out the name of my daughter's abuser. It is ridiculous. This is my last-ditch effort to try and fix the problems before I ask a judge to do it. Go through your policies, go through your procedures, go through your hiring progress. Make sure that our children are safe. School is the only place that we as parents take our children and leave them with perfect strangers and entrust you to care for them. The fact that I had to receive a phone call twice is absurd. It is soul-crushing. You see, sitting behind me, a 7-year-old. She weighs less than 50 pounds. She's not even 4 feet tall yet. She was no threat to anybody. And I am tired of the lip service and the canned responses and the bureaucracy and the red tape. These are our children. You will take care of them the way we would, or you will find other jobs. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Jones.
Mr. Bennett, having some type of executive session or something about what she's talking about? Will there be some type of executive session coming soon about something that she's talking about?
I can send y'all an email, but it would be appropriate under these circumstances for an executive session.
Okay, but you will be informing
I'll send
us.
something.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Committee chair updates.
Nothing from me.
Nothing from finance. Facilities, Ms. Jones?
We have facilities committee meeting Monday, I was gonna say October, Lord have
20.
mercy.
20.
Monday, November 20th, and then again on November 27th at 6 p.m. here in the boardroom. There will, we will take public comments, but it will go just as it goes for this board meeting here. 30 minutes prior to the meeting, you can sign up. Once that 30 minutes is up, then the opportunity to speak at the board, to speak before the board at that committee meeting will no longer be available, and we will take public comment at the end of our meeting. Any public comment received there, we will follow up with the next meeting. The desire is to go in the order of the mayor's facilities plan, so we will address the first meeting, following to the last three, and then of course with Howard and,
I think I'm in the first, I think there's.
that's right, you were in the first one.
There's 4.
There's 9 on the survey.
I don't know, it ain't my plan, so I don't remember. That's why I said it that way.
Yeah, it's not.
But we're gonna go in the
I'll put
order.
it-
Yeah, we're gonna go in the order of the way but I'm just kind of thinking of what I'm saying 3. I'm saying like the way the meetings were set up, because some of them were grouped together. So we're gonna go in the cluster, the first 3 clusters and the last 3 clusters. That better for y'all? Because some of them were clustered. But we're gonna go in that order. Public comment will be taken at the end to be discussed at the next meeting. In that way.
Can I ask,
Do we know when that's going to be posted to share?
I can put it together and maybe by then tomorrow get it out.
That'd be awesome. And just to be totally clear, are you going to post it on the website so that people can see which
we
one's
can.
which? Okay. I just want people to be able to figure out which one.
He's saying the specific
Oh, okay.
recommendations for the 20th and the 27th.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea when we're going to get the packet of community feedback that was gathered at all of the meetings to review?
I think it should be probably Monday or Tuesday. So we're trying to condense all of that, and we'll provide the full list, but then condense it into a summary so that you'll be able to consume it easier. So we'll do that for each meeting.
But we will have the full raw data as well.
We'll give you the whole kit and caboodle, and then we'll give you a summary.
Mr. Wingate?
Yeah, so any policy discussion that would be up for December meeting, probably going to take place either the week of the 27th or the 4th. I don't know. I'll have to get with Ms. Ford on that. But Ms. Ford, when's the? Yeah, so we got another quick turnaround for our December meeting. So I'll get with her. We'll get something planned for policy committee meeting either of those 2 weeks. So that would be the week following Thanksgiving. In the first full week of December. I don't know, we'll talk.
Okay. Any other committee updates?
Just the only thing going on in the legislature is the Speaker Sexton his group has met to discuss accepting or not accepting federal funds. But that it doesn't have to be reported on until January, but they are currently meeting.
Thank you, Ben. Anything else? Okay. So we'll look at our board agenda.
Well, so
Go ahead.
Ms. Robinson asked about presentation. Remember, we were switching to quarterly presentations and providing you guys an update on the key initiatives. So key initiatives this board session is around chronic absenteeism. So there's kind of an update on what we've been doing so far around chronic absenteeism with the tactics that we're taking to address this issue. And then on the back is kind of a summary of steps that have been taken so far around chronic absenteeism.
Okay, so going down our agenda, looks like we're gonna recognize, some of our state champions. We've had several this fall, I think. And then, consent agenda, is there anything jump out anybody wants to talk about there? Yeah. Okay, Ms. Thurman, go ahead.
Seven D three A, the Fostering Diverse Schools Grants. I'd just like a little information about that, please. Let me pull it back on my computer here. It's a 200 and, get down here to it. Fostering Diverse Schools Grant.
Yeah.
It's $251,593 grant. Do we already have this grant? It says it's been given to us. Did we apply for this grant? Was it?
Yeah,
just
we applied, so it's
administrative?
proving accepting. There's also a job description that's later down
That's what I
on
was
the
going to say.
agenda.
Does this job description match?
It's tied to that, yes,
So
ma'am.
we're hiring that person with this grant?
Yeah, so the purpose of the grant is we've added a lot more school choice, so we've gone to, open enrollment. We've had magnet schools for a while. We've had Future Ready Institutes. What we haven't done a great job of, since we've added all that, is like really doing a comprehensive look at how transportation impacts that. We offer transportation, have been offering for magnet schools. We've worked around some hubs there for Future Ready Institutes, but the purpose of the grant is to really look at school choice as it pertains to transportation, and is that creating access for kids that we've intended it. I mean, one of the goals of magnet schools and school choice is help kids living in poverty access opportunities. And so the purpose of the grant is solely to look at transportation and see if we can be more efficient, if we need to make adjustments, and if that will impact school choice.
Well, actually, magnet schools are started to make to draw in kids from all over the county with a common purpose, and that was for academic reasons. And at that time, magnet schools were not even supposed to have athletic facilities, which we found out that these magnet schools have kind of evolved into something that we never envisioned when we started, because I was here when they all started. It has just become, and then we started providing transportation, which we should have never done. We did that to get a $5 million grant. And we were gonna stop it after the grant money was gone, which was gonna be about 5 years. And, well, actually, that's not correct. We got more than 5, I think about 12 million over 5 years or something ridiculous like that. But anyway, we started with, transporting students because we were one of the only counties crazy enough to say that we would transport magnet school students in order to get that grant, because some of the other school systems knew that it would cost them millions and millions of dollars, which it has cost us. So I had no idea that that's what this was about, or if we're thinking about.
It's a part of it, but again, to your point, I think what it allows us to do is what you're saying, is we really don't know what the cost of magnet school transportation is right now, right? And so this would allow us to dig into it to see.
We could get around all of this. See, when we start doing stuff like this brings on more problems. When we started transporting magnet school kids, then you had to start transporting other kids. At that time, when there was just a few magnet schools, parents had to provide their own transportation. If you were going to go to school outside of your zone, of course, then we didn't have zones until Jesse registered, God bless his soul, made us have school zones. We used to just have bus routes, and you could go to any school you wanted to in the county, which is what we're slowly going back to. We didn't have zone Nazis to go around and make sure you were going to the school you were supposed to go to. We were all Hamilton County residents. We could go to any Hamilton County school we wanted to go to, which is really how it should be, as long as you provide your own transportation. But things like this will bankrupt the school system if we keep transporting these people everywhere. And if that's what this is doing, to be sure that this person, and then we started doing it for these academies, and we're doing it for magnet schools, And I can see doing it for a vocational school if we just had, like I would like to do, have one vocational setting. But we cannot continue to put millions of dollars in the ozone to transport students, and I don't know exactly what all, I don't know how many more diversity programs we have to be sure that we're in compliance with whatever the diversity rules are, but we have a diversity, we have a equity, what is our department called here now? What is it called? The
Equity and advocacy.
equity and advocacy. We have that, and then we just keep adding more and more and more to this.
So
I just don't understand, and I saw the job description, and I figured it was for this. And we always hire these people with this grant money, and those positions never go away. And if those positions go away, the people stay and they get another position. This is one of those that I can see is going to end up costing us millions of dollars over a few years if we continue to do this, because they're going to find something we're doing wrong. They always do. They're going to find something that somebody's going to have a problem with, and we're going to have to fix it, and that fix is going to cost us, in a few years, millions of dollars to fix some of the things that we're supposedly doing wrong. When it's something we can't fix, we cannot keep sending these kids to schools all over this county and us pay for the transportation. If a child wants to go to school outside of their school zone, they should have to provide the transportation. Or the magnet school parents at those magnet schools should be able to get together and either hire their own buses or whatever they need to do. I do not think that should be a responsibility of this board. We cannot continue to do this. It's caused our children have to go to school at 6, catch the bus at 5:45 in the morning. The bus comes by my house, and to pick up children to go to school. My grandson catches the bus at 6:15 in the morning. I mean, we used to never do that until we started to add another tier for the magnet school students. They should have to go just like the charter school kids. The charter schools have figured out a way to get transportation. Some of these parents, if they want to provide transportation, they should pitch in, because the only people by law we have to provide transportation for are the, as we all know, the handicapped children. And I know when we start a program like this, they're going to find things that we're doing wrong, and we're going to have to fix it. And then that fix will bring on another fix, and it just never ends. And we're getting in the transportation business instead of the education business because it's sucking millions of dollars out of our funds.
You and I have spoken about this. I don't disagree with a lot of what you're saying, and that's why I think this is important, because it allows us to study this problem. There's no requirements with this
It don't
grant
take a rocket scientist to figure this out. We can't keep doing it. See, we bring on people to do a study about this. Well, I've been studying it for 20 years. We just can't keep doing it.
I haven't seen a transportation like in-depth review and analysis of what we're doing, and maybe we've got anecdotal evidence to say that our buses are starting too early or we're going to school too late, but we haven't had anyone that with the time and the resources to dig into it and look at it. This is what it is. It doesn't require us to do anything. There's no one that's going to come at the end of this to say that, oh, you found this out, you've got to fix it. It's helping us better understand with school choice how transportation is serving kids. My hope is that there would be changes, but they would be changes that would either A, better serve kids, or B, save money.
Every time we save money, it costs us millions of dollars. I've been saving money on this board and seen our budget go up $100 million. And like I say, every time we try to save money, I'm not sure it's the new math or what, but it just never works.
To just be clear, the rest of the board, the grant, looking at school choice, looking at transportation with it. The position that is down the bottom of the agenda under board matters is the position that's tied to
Right.
it. There's nothing else that requires us to do anything at the end
But you're
of
looking
it.
at it through the lens of diversity and not just, so, I mean, every time that you.
Socioeconomic diversity, yes.
Diversity, yeah. And it's,
I think we
how
should-
can you make everything when you have, oh, I don't know. Like I say, there's just, we're always gonna run afoul of somebody with something because everything's not always gonna be totally equitable and equal, call it what you will. But they're gonna find out something that is gonna end up costing us so much more money. It always does.
Mr. Connor?
I guess just the only point I want to make is that no one's ever gone wrong getting more information about a subject and finding out all the facts. So if we can do that, it may just satisfy what Rhonda needs. It may lead us in a different direction, yes, but at the end of the day, having more information has never been worse than having less.
Mr. Wingate?
Yeah, I'd like to give my time to Dr. Robertson. Will you finish your thought there, please, uninterrupted, and then
I'm just, now you're getting me against my better judgment. I was just saying, I think we should all, like, socioeconomic diversity is something that affects this entire county. You know, from the very back of Signal Mountain through downtown to, you know, God's country and Sell Creek. Like, we've got poor kids across this county, and we should be digging into this. There's nothing that requires us to do anything at the end of it, but it could get to a point where we say, you know, we haven't been doing this right to serve our kids well all along. So, I mean, but again, not required to do this. If we don't want to do it, we don't have to. Sorry.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes, thank you. Well, who is observing what's going on now? I mean, I hate to keep seeing layer and layer and layer of administration when I want to see funds to help the students and the teachers more. And we do have, like you said before, the socioeconomic, sometimes it is uncomfortable to talk about, but how can we help it if we don't admit it and talk about it? So, I mean, I want to know, do we not have people in-house who can review the situation?
Yeah, so this is a really specific project and one that, no, we don't have someone in-house that does this now. Do we have, obviously, a transportation department that oversees transportation? Yes. Do we have, you know, federal programs department that oversees Title I dollars that serve kids living in poverty? Absolutely. This is a very specific, you know, issue, to the point about rather seeing funds go to the classroom. This is a grant that is specific to this, so this isn't like GP funds or funds that are already coming to us. We wrote a grant for this specific project.
And how long does the grant last?
3 years. I'm trying, I think it's 3 years. Let me
3
confirm
years.
that.
So it will be reevaluated at that time, or on an annual basis? Or?
No, at the end of the 3 years, the project should be over and complete, and if we make adjustments, we make adjustments. If we don't, we don't. This is would not be a position that we intend to keep beyond that.
And you would bring it to the board at the end
Yeah,
of
if we
3
did,
years?
yes. Yeah, we
Okay.
would have to, because
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Jones?
I was just gonna say to Faye that we can't allocate the money anywhere else, because typically when you write the grant, unless it's an open grant to do something that you wanna do with it, I mean, this is what we have to do with it, because that's the grant that was sought.
Transportation's very complicated, and I know Brandon and his staff, they got their hands full. And I think Ms. Thurman's right, you know, transporting the magnets and now our future-ready kids. And so I think this can be helpful for us to really dig deep and look at what we can do to improve that process. Anything else on that item?
Can you not see my light?
Oh, I'm sorry. I do not see your light. I see Gary's light.
Did you see that one now?
Nope.
you're Gary,
You're
apparently.
Gary Steele.
Okay,
Gary.
okay.
That's him.
Well,
Okay, Gary.
I clicked my light too. I'll let you speak first.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, just to clarify, once this grant is complete, the possibility is that we could design a transportation program that is more effective and more efficient for one of our largest budget items
yes, ma'am.
for the county school system.
Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
Clarified, I spoke wrong. It's a 2-year grant, not a 3-year grant.
Okay.
Okay. No more lights, I don't think, okay?
I do have.
You, okay.
Who are you when you
So,
come on?
Yeah, I'm me now as myself, so. I think back about the issue with transportation that faced the adult high school, and there is no telling how many students were lost. We saved 2,156 students, if you're wondering, from 2004 to 2019. We had 2,156 graduates. They did have to provide their transportation, but I don't know how many we lost because we did not provide buses for that. And I would hate for this same thing to happen. I would rather know if there's a way to provide transportation and allow students to be successful, then we need to check on it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anything else anybody would like to pull and let's talk about under consent?
I have a question on it. So on the amendment, it is showing, and I talked to Shannon about this, and I'm wondering if it's just a clerical mistake. So they've pulled board policy again, 6.3023, but they have it showing under the category of second and final reading,
We pulled it, correct?
and we pulled.
Yeah.
And we pulled it last month, so that should not be showing second and final reading. That should be showing as first
It's
reading.
pulled completely.
It's pulled out of all over.
All right,
So
all right.
last month would have been second, and since it didn't go last month, this month would have been second, but it's being pulled in.
Right, okay. All right. I just want to make sure of that.
Okay. Anything else anybody would like to talk about there, under the consent? Okay. Moving down to board matters. Does anybody see anything there that you'd like to talk about here? Good.
Let me, so can I, sorry.
Sure. Jump in there, Dr. Robertson.
So on the job descriptions, we've already talked about one that is a new position that's the grant funded one that we just discussed about transportation. On the second page, the student safety officer is also a grant funded position that will be part of a grant. The plan there is to transfer somebody internally to that position. So as the sheriff's office has been increasing SRDs, our goal was to, through attrition, start decreasing the number of SSOs, and so this position will be grant funded around training, and most likely we'll just internally transfer someone to it, so it'll again help with that attrition.
Do you, Dr. Robertson, do you expect any of our SSOs to lose their job as the sheriff is increasing our SROs?
No, sir. I think that just through attrition,
It'll
we'll
take care of
them
itself.
off. So right now, we're as good of a shape as we could be with the sheriff's office and our staff in terms of coverage. For the first time, maybe ever, we've got to where if someone's got to go to training, if someone's sick, that we have coverage. So everybody is working every day. You got someone out sick, you got someone that's got to go to training. But we've got coverage, which is great. It's what we want, and so I don't expect that. I just think as you get to the end of the year, someone retires or resigns, take another position, that we just would not refill those
Okay,
positions.
good. Ms. Thurman?
Yeah, okay, you have the project manager for the comprehensive socioeconomic diversity plan that we just talked about, which I think could be taken in with probably somebody that we have here, but anyway, what's this other project manager? Are those the same
These
thing,
are-
the same numbers?
Yeah, Zach, I don't know if you can come up here and confirm this,
It's the
but they
same
are,
numbers, I
they,
think.
remember, we're bringing new job descriptions.
Yeah.
Anytime we change a job description, we're bringing it. So those are, well, I'll let Dr. Brown.
Yeah, thank you. So the project, it's a lot of work trying to design and create the job description. So on our HCS standpoint, we've never had this type of job description. So I asked our compliance coordinator to generate two job descriptions, one that's very specific to this grant, but also go ahead and have a job description in our bank if we ever need any another role down the road for a project manager, right? So it's just, we're already doing the work, so we're just trying to be efficient and effective to have a job description available if we
So
ever
there's not a
need to do it.
person tied with this?
No, ma'am, and no request for a position.
Okay, I was just real confused about what that
I
was.
apologize. It was just me trying to use our resources wisely while we're doing the research on the job, make sure we have a description available for future use.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then we got the approval for the turf fields, and I see Mr. McClendon back there that might answer any questions. Dr. Sharp, anything you want to update us there on that, or anybody need to talk about that? Why don't you come, Robert, and just so the public understands exactly what we're going to be doing there.
So what you have on the agenda today is an opportunity for us to approve the acceptance of funds and ultimately the installation of 2 turf fields at 2 of our high schools. It's funds that are made available from the county mayor's office, and they come from a tax real estate transaction of some sort, which I won't get into all the details of that. Tucker could, if he has anything he wants to share on that, he can. But the donor of this of these funds designated the 2 schools that are to receive the fields, and we plan to do the installation there. And also we're working with Funds for Excellence, who accepted the donation, and then they'll pay for the fields to be installed. So there's no cost to the district, which is an incredible opportunity. And it also positions the Fund for Excellence to go out and solicit additional donors to begin a long-term project to install artificial turf at all of our high school football fields.
But, Dr. Sharp, to be clear, I heard you say that the donor is the one that designated.
That is correct.
That the funds be put to these specific schools.
That is correct.
Okay.
And we were, we've got new turf on the field at CSLA, which we installed there in the construction. We're doing the same at Tyner Middle High School. That'll be a turf field when that's complete. With this donation, that'll bring us up to 4, and then we'll begin working to get plans together to continue out over the next 3 or 4 or 5 years to get it at every school.
Maybe there'll be some other donors out there.
We're hoping this
turf a field in their community.
Yep. We've got a mechanism for donors to contribute now through the Funds for Excellence. They're fully on board, and we've worked closely with their board to get this going. So it's a great opportunity, and hopefully will lead to some great things for us.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I have a
Okay, go ahead.
couple of questions. The donor was obviously a very smart person, by the way.
Well, yeah.
This is my opinion.
At least
Okay.
for one of the picks,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, very smart, both of them. Okay, are the bids done for that? Have the bids done?
We'll be moving forward with that once we get formal approval from you guys.
Okay, and so we don't have any idea of the starting date
No,
of these?
no, we hope to move quickly.
Because of spring
Right,
sports and
right.
stuff?
That's
okay.
right. It won't be, at best, we'll have them ready, beginning of school next year.
Okay,
Yeah. So, it might be that we have to work with those schools to schedule their first couple of football games away, just so we can make sure we've got it fully
so
ready.
you're in the process of getting the bids now?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Dr. Sharp.
Thank you.
Exceptional Education MOU. Dr. Parker, do you want to speak to that? Maybe some people might have some questions for you.
Members of the board, we've been very fortunate for our students to participate in a program called Project Search. I believe that's the one you're referencing,
Yes.
Chairman Smith. We have an agreement with both Blue Cross Blue Shield. We've been working with them for some time, and the partnership has been really, really great. This year, for the first time, however, we've extended our partnership, and not only are we working with Blue Cross Blue Shield, let me just throw this caveat in. Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to a lot of remote work, actually, so it gave us the opportunity to explore another employer. Erlanger Hospital has come on board, and what this project entails is several of our students with exceptionalities get the chance to enter the workforce. They get to participate in work-based learning and get really incredible employment skills. I think 6 of our students last year were hired into jobs from our Project Search graduation, and it's just a really, really amazing program. So what's different for the board to know is we've typically worked with Blue Cross Blue Shield and just Blue Cross Blue Shield. This year, the addition of Erlanger is a part of the agreement, the MOU that you have in front of you this time.
Okay. Ms. Thurman, do you have a question there?
No.
Okay.
That's wonderful, though.
I'll put out there, if you've never been to one of the graduations, we need to put a caveat to invite, like, it's one of the coolest things
It's
you'll ever
amazing.
see.
Just curious, while they're doing this work-based learning, are they compensated in any way, or they?
I'm pretty sure they get payment for the job. Yes.
That's awesome.
And again, it's so helpful to the employers. They want to keep working with us, and so it's a win-win.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Parker. Okay, Gateway Building.
Turn to Mr. Bennett on this one. This thing's gone back and forth. I don't remember what's changed about this from.
I was surprised for a second too. So what we have here is a sales agreement, and the only thing that's different about this agreement from what this board had approved previously as proof of concept is that it allows for there to be a lease back during the period of time that the present occupant may need to continue using it. So it's a very small technical change.
Say that again. Say that one more time.
They're not getting out yet.
Right.
Okay, good. Then we got some first reads there. A couple of the first reads were pulled. Insurance management. Anybody have anything there? I've got one little question, I guess, for Dr. Brown or Dr. Robertson. And just because I don't always understand insurance. Miss America takes care of all that stuff. But why is that striked out?
But it says no cost there.
So, if you remember when we went to the benefits, through the benefits package, this is the old line that says that it's at no cost. And with the changes in benefits, we're paying, I can't remember how much, like $6 a paycheck if you're 26 for dental benefits now, dental insurance. This line that's striked out says it's at no cost to the employee, so it's just matching the changes we made to the benefits package.
Okay. I guess what just looked like to me is that there is no dental coverage, but there is dental coverage, but the employee must enroll.
Well, and we're paying for it now.
Okay.
Employees are charged for dental insurance
Okay.
now.
Okay. Okay, anything else there on policies first read? Anybody? No? Okay. Looks like it could be a quick meeting tonight.
Doing so well, Joe.
Okay.
Every time I say that.
Okay. Well, anybody got anything else? If not, we'll adjourn our work session and be back in about, 40 minutes, it looks like. We stand adjourned.